just a hack. He's just an absolute hack. And he gets his ass kicked by his teammates every week. It's just, it's terrible. It's just terrible.
Welcome back to another episode of the Believe in FCS Football podcast. I'm Joe DeLeone, joined by my former teammate, former roommate, Mr. Sean Anderson. We've got another special edition of Jamie's Corner, a.k.a. the FCS Football mailbag. Sean, how are we doing today?
Depressed. I mean, it's just raining and raining and raining. I mean, just rain on rain. I'm looking at rain. It just stinks. Missing bets. I don't know. I'm doing okay. Yeah. It's just dark here. And I like the overcast, but it's just my shoes got wet, so I'm angry. And that's basically it. That's all it needs to kind of set me off a little bit, because that's a very unique feeling, especially if you're wearing like a cloth texture shoe, not like a boot. Hard to get the socks.
You wearing the Uggs?
No, just Adidas shoes. And when the socks get wet, I get upset. Let's put that on a t-shirt.
When my socks get wet, I'm upset. I'm praying for anyone who comes into your room later today after those things have been just ruminating.
They're sitting in the bathroom. That's where I've resigned these shoes.
What? You're like creating almost a bomb in your bathroom by leaving those in a locked or in a closed door in your bathroom. And then not only whatever other smells you're generating in there.
Jeez, don't worry.
You're not going to smell them, but some poor person is going to go open the door to that bathroom. And it's probably going to be somebody that you'd like not to smell rancid feet and
correct.
Who
they normally go in. If I'm having a girl over, these specific shoes that we got senior year.
Yeah, the Rhode Island football shoes?
Yeah, they are, which I've had for, I guess, now almost 4 years. Or 3 years, I don't know, but I
don't know how old I am.
2019, anymore. We got them.
I'm still 19 years old in my head.
I know, but those go in a bin in my closet where I can shut the lid of the bin and keep them in there.
If you really want to kill somebody,
take
them, open the bin, take the shoes out of the bin, and then put the bin over their head.
It's a secret shoe bin that I'll put the shoes, and if I have dirty socks, also they go in the bin also. But I did do a deep clean of my bathroom with some actual, like, not like Clorox spray and like sponges, and got all that stuff taken care of. So my bathroom is the cleanest it's been, I think, since I've moved in as of right now.
So it sounds like you're expecting maybe a visitor.
I'm not. Nobody. Phone's as dry as it's ever been. It's the driest my phone has ever been, Joe.
Praying for Sean in these tough times.
Don't pray for me.
Send a prayer out for Sean.
Martyr me.
Yeah, that's just what our FCS football listeners need to hear. We've got another what's the word I'm looking for? Bundle of stupid questions from our listeners. Some good ones, mostly stupid questions as usual. We love stupid questions here on the stupidest football podcast you can find in the market. Sean, speaking of stupid betting, I'm bad at it. I got one baseball pick right finally. I think I'm 1 for
You sure didn't
16.
bet on the Dodgers.
I think I bet on the Giants to beat the Phillies. I think that's what my bet that I hit.
Great. That's a good bet.
Yeah.
The Dodgers getting swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates is about as tilting for me as anything that I've ever encountered for sports betting, especially when you take the Dodgers to cover twice and then say you just lost 2. I'll just take your money line, and you'll lose again, and you get swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates, who haven't been good since the early 2010s. Whatever. BetOnline.ag. That's where you go. It's really easy to get started. Don't you want to get started? Doesn't this sound like fun? Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up and use our promo code BELIEVE. Use the code. You receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online where the game starts. Also, I'm certain, because I made it a decree and I believe it, since I said that Golden State's going to win in 4, I guess it's going 7 games to Boston.
Probably.
And they're going to win it just because I said it.
I gotta bet in on the Warriors tonight. So depending on when this comes out, I might be happy tomorrow, or I might.
Why
be
am
sad.
I hearing that people are liking the Celtics tonight? Why am I hearing that?
Because
we shouldn't hear that. The Warriors are notoriously good in Game 1.
They're also a much better team, but I'm an idiot, and actually my basketball betting I've been doing really well. So I'm not tripping on basketball. All right, we got questions to answer, Sean. First question for Brendan. He asks, better beer game partner. You were Joe. That's Sean. I am
Oh,
the worst. What, did you think I'm that much of a prick?
I
would
was
sit
waiting
here
to
and
see
say
if
that
you
I
were
am.
going to pull a true Joe DeLeone narcissism moment.
I am bad at beer pong because I'm usually too drunk to actually be effective. And when I'm not drunk, I'm still pretty bad. I'm usually also pretty loud and obnoxious when we play other games. So I'm one of the worst partners that you could ask for. There's a reason why people usually look the opposite way when I'm asking for a partner.
Yeah, Joe's not good at beer games. He can't hold it down. He gets way too into it. Really, really loud. If he makes a shot, or if, God
I
forbid, you
start
make a
screaming.
shot, he'll knock you over celebrating, even if it's like the second cup of the game. He'll like, yeah, in your face. I'm like, Joe, it's cup 2. Let's calm down. Again, I'm carrying. Get ready to carry if you're playing with Joe DeLeone. And God forbid you're ever off in a game, or else this little ant is gonna just carve you up in front of the. I don't know what happened to Sean, man. Oh, he's normally really good. He was awful in that game. I had to carry him. I got like 3 cups. God forbid you're actually off one game. He will not let you live it down. Worst beer game partner ever. I don't know how he is in Die. I can't imagine he's very good.
I don't think
I
I've ever
know
played Die.
college football players normally
I'm really good at red black.
Are you?
But if you're good at red black, it means it's easily, for anyone who doesn't know this game, it is the stupidest drinking game because you're literally have a deck of cards and you're placing drink wagers into a cup, and then you guess if the card's going to be red or black. And I'm really good at it because I'm always consistently the person who gets the card picks wrong. And if the more wrong ones you get in a row, the more you have to keep drinking. You can't pass the drinking on to the next person until you get one right. So I'm pretty good at that because I usually lose pretty badly at it.
After being introduced to red black, it damn near destroyed my friend group back home because it was okay. If anybody said red black, everybody groaned, but then we had to play, and then everybody just drunk, and everybody's a mess. No, I'm good at drinking games. I don't like I don't really like Flip Cup. I'm good at it, but I don't like it. I think Beer Die is my favorite, and then I got good hand-eye, baseball all my life, all that stuff. So I'm good at that stuff. Joe, I'm not going to try to knock his hand-eye, but it's not there for drinking games with little die or little ping pong balls. He's just not. It's just not his thing. He's good at a lot of other good things, but beer games, not that.
I'm not bad at beer pong. I'm just not as good as you are. That shouldn't be. I don't, because I haven't played it as many times. I didn't really play it in high school, so it's kind of a delay there. Brandon, great question. I like more questions like that. Jamie has a really good question later that I was excited to answer because I thought that was the more kinds of questions that we're trying to get on these shows are more of the personal questions because they're more fun to answer. Kyler Neal might be the hack question of the week. What team will have a better season, Rhode Island or Portland State? Basically the same team. Both coaches have been there too long with bad records. Hey, now calm that down. Both below 500 all time. Both haven't had a playoff win in 35 plus years. Both have yet to win a Big Sky /CAA title. Joe is a fan. I'm not picking either. Both of them. And guess what, Sean? We have some coach interviews lined up that I'm going to be doing. Coach Barnum, is probably going to be the first one that comes out. Coach Barnum, coach of Portland State.
You did not.
I'm not even joking.
Told me of some scheduling that you had, and you're like, if you're available for this, I'm sorry, I'm not available for that. You told me who stood you up. I didn't know that Coach Barnum of Portland State is going to be.
He was
rolling out the red carpet.
Him and the sports information director there was the quickest to respond, and they were very happy that I reached out. And they're assuming I don't get stood up like. I don't care. I'm going to say it because I never got an apology. Coach Nick Hill at SIU, he stood me up, agreed to a time, confirmed a time, gave them the link, sat there for 20 minutes, didn't show up. Last person to do that was Julius Chestnut, and he had a bad season. That's all I'm saying. But Coach Barnum is coming on the show, or should be coming on the show. Hopefully he comes, and I'm very excited to talk to him because
Joe, you would be the worst talent booker ever because you would be like in radio jobs. You would be the worst. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Conan O'Brien. This guy was rude to me, so you don't get him.
But I'm booking him for my show. It's not like I'm booking
I can't imagine being a host of a show. All right, bring Joe in here. Why didn't we get him? Yeah, no, he was like 2 minutes late to the last interview, so I didn't even reach out this time. And I'm gonna trash him. The worst. Your people skills are so
terrible. I
lacking.
have bad because I get mad easily. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm just how hard is it to say I'm sorry that I missed it?
Because he's not sorry. Who would be sorry
Man.
about missing this?
SIU is going to have a bad season. Chad Byros, question.
You're a vindictive lad, I tell you
we
what.
have a riddle. You put me in dry, I come out wet.
Oh, we didn't answer Kyler's question.
I said both.
Both?
We'll have a better season. Both.
Sean Jinx coming. Rhode Island will. All right.
By the way, we will have Coach Flem on at some point. That will be a joint interview. We will coordinate it after we put out a couple. I have an intention to have Coach Flem on, but that will also happen.
We'll see. He might stand us up.
He really might. I'd rather get Donnie on, to be honest. I would like to have Donnie on at some point.
Joe, what's his link? Can you see me? Yeah, Donnie.
How do I put the camera on? Oh yeah. Is it on? Yeah.
I almost killed this guy Joe with a pencil once. I'm like, Donnie, we can't get too inside baseball here. You know, we got to introduce you first.
Donnie's the best coach in FCS.
Joe, you getting bagels out in LA?
Donnie would lose his mind now that I've lost all this weight. Donnie, I think, would have. He might have an aneurysm if he sees that I've lost all this weight. I don't.
Yeah.
All right.
You lose weight, you can't bring it up. You got to bring it up every show. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, because I actually did it. Chad
You're gonna
has a
gain it
riddle
all back.
Can't wait. Don't put that juju on me. Don't put that on me.
One sprained ankle, it's all back. Oh, that's there.
Chad, I can lift with a sprained ankle.
Okay.
Chad's question: you put me in dry, I come out wet. The longer I'm in, the stronger I get. What am I? A towel.
Is that it? Is that the answer?
It's not. It sounds like a similar riddle that I was thinking of. Just
is it a dirty? Is it a dirty question?
Put me in dry. I come out wet. Oh no!
I don't think it is. I think it's just a regular question, right?
Wait,
my mind's in the gutter.
I'm looking up the answer.
Look it up. If we're sitting here about to receive a dick joke, I gotta know.
Oh, it's a tea.
It's probably like pasta or something. Oh, tea bag. Close enough. They close enough.
We have really low expectations for our listeners.
I mean, technically, is Sean wrong?
You're not. I mean,
I'm not that wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong for having some concern. Chad's other question: thoughts on the WAC ASUN conference name? And why is it the only correct answer? So for those that don't know, the ASUN and the WAC are combining forces. They are going to be playing together this season. I honestly probably should have checked how the scheduling for this is going to work, but I'm an idiot and I didn't. No, WAC ASUN I think is the only appropriate name. You know, that's, I mean, like, what else would we name it?
I don't know. Name it the Sunshine Conference. Anything but WAC ASUN. WAC ASUN. WAC. Yeah, that's WAC. No. Bad. Name it the FCS Football Conference. Dude. Pull a Washington football team. Name it the FCS Football Conference. Something super easy, not confusing.
Do we have a whacking off podcast out there? Is there a conference podcast?
I'm sure there's some. It's going to be one, and it's probably. You're right on. You nailed the title of the show. Also, whacking off. You nailed it. Some hack is going to be doing that.
Someone is either. I think somebody might already be doing that. Maybe it's Dustin. Speaking of Dustin, his first question. Let me see. What did you want to be when you grew up, and did you attain it? I'm Joe DeLeone, ? Was the end of the question. Honestly, Sean, I'll let you go after me. My aspiration was to be a professional football player and then to be a sports media personality. That became a little bit more specific in being an NFL draft analyst. And here I am. I host an NFL draft podcast. I'm a sports media personality. Try to go the professional route. That definitely was not going to happen. I think I've attained it moderately, at least close.
Dustin Helton, host of Straight Outta WAC Pigskin. So I'm assuming that's a show.
I want that changed to whacking off. I want to change to whacking off. What money would it cost? How much would it cost to change the name of that show to the Whacking Off Podcast, brought to you by the FCS Football Podcast with DeLeone and Sean Anderson? That has to be
great.
The full title.
You know what? I'd go in on it. I'd go in on that. I'd love it.
$20 starting bid.
I'll throw 20 for that. For a complete name rebrand, you would have to do some
$40 for you, Dustin.
I'll make him an intro if you do some intro.
I'll make you a logo too. It's on the table, Dustin.
I'll make you an awesome intro. I will go. I'll pull out all the bells and whistles. What is this question? What did you want to? Pro athlete, football, baseball, one of the two. I'm not Joe DeLeone for the second part of your question. And then, did I attain it? No, I didn't attain it. I played college football, which was cool. And then I've been figuring it out since. Doing this is fun. I think we're decently good at it, which is why we're still doing it.
Maybe.
I think decently good's fair. That's a fair. I don't know. I want to be a gym teacher.
Fucking amazing. Be a little bit more. I want to be a gym teacher.
A gym teacher one day would be great, actually.
Have some higher aspirations.
No, I'm saying after this runs its course and whatever, family and all that stuff, gym teacher. Like when I'm 60. What?
Comments I can make, but I'm not going to.
Go ahead.
No, I think
you want to compare what's happening at my 60 versus your 60. You going?
I'm going to be dead. I'm going to be dead from a heart attack.
No, you're.
Or my second wife is going to shoot me. It's one or the other.
Only second wife by 60? Liar. You're going to be.
They're either going to shoot me and then the second one's going to divorce me. I foresee the first wife is going to divorce me. The first wife is going to divorce me. I'm going to get married before 30 because I'm an idiot. Sean's going to shoot me because that's a part of our agreement. If I get married before 30, Sean is allowed to shoot me. I'm going to get married before 30 because I'm an idiot and I'm going to jump into something too quickly. Yep. I'll then get divorced in less than a year, and then I'm going to be so depressed by that I won't get married again until 40. Mm-hmm. And then when I'm 60, I'll get shot by that wife because
you think you make it 20 years with the second wife?
Yeah, maybe.
No, you're going to bars at 60 looking for, I don't know, 25-year-olds. That's what you're doing.
Probably.
That's you. If you don't get shot or if you survive the gun wound. What's wrong with being a gym teacher? It's a great job. You get summers off.
I mean, I think that you should have higher
summers off.
I
get to work with youth athletics and try to get kids interested in sports. That's something I'm interested in. That's a passion of mine.
I think most people's parents would be justifiably afraid knowing that
if they can beat me in a game of knockout, then they can coach gym
at 60 years old around their children.
I've obviously made a career by now. This is that's what it is. I've obviously made the career, made the money. Now I'm chilling. I don't want to do the belly of the beast anymore in the media, so I want to go be like a gym teacher or something.
I see you more as a high school football coach or like an offensive line coach. Like you remind me of my offensive line coach from high school because he was.
You remind me of the band instructor in my high school.
Degrading. I hate eat shit. Eat shit. Next question from Dustin Helton.
Oh, what did that kill the question?
Yes, it did. Who do you think the Southland WAC ASUN Ohio Valley Conference should try to pull in from other conferences / divisions to bolster their numbers? So I know St. Thomas is joining, Texas A&M Commerce is joining FCS. Like those are the schools that you need to go after because those are the ones that, and I don't know if if they necessarily off the top of my head, if they have any affiliations. Admittedly, I don't pay attention to no knock on these programs, the bottom feeder or in the new programs that much, but you want to go after the ones that are successful at the Division II level that have the aspirations to compete and they've put the time and the investment in. You don't want to go after a program that has limited investment, was bad at a lower level, and then just suddenly wants to move up. You want somebody that has a historic or a history of success in their past. Like I think Stonehill is a really good example. I believe that they're joining the NEC at some point. LIU, they were a decent program at the Division II level, but you want to go for programs like that have an aspiration for investment.
Wagner was like that, I believe, at one point. And then they
Yeah.
moved up. I don't know. The Ohio Valley needs somebody after Austin P left. It's looking a little light in the ass. But it just you never know who's going to be.
Even still a thing?
Yeah, Eastern Illinois. I'm looking at it right now. Eastern Illinois, Lindenwood, Murray State, SEMO, or Southeast Missouri
Lindenwood's-
State, Tennessee Martin, Tennessee State, Tennessee Tech.
That is a bad conference,
Told you it's not great.
especially Tennessee Tech.
Okay, you keep it up.
All right, next question.
Go Trojans.
You're not going to get me.
I think I got you.
Okay, you're not going to
All
get
right, next question.
me. FCS Nation Radio, North Dakota State, or the field for the national championship? I don't know how many times we'll get asked this question. This is the first time, so we'll answer it this time. But to answer the question, okay, if I'm a betting man, I'm taking the field because then you get probably decent odds and you have more possibility of hitting. But if I'm talking pure what's actually going to happen, it's going to be North Dakota State.
I'm taking the field.
We did the preview show for them.
Yeah,
They're returning a lot of important players.
sure.
I don't think that they're going to take much of a step back. They're not really losing much of their offensive line or any big major performers defensively. Cam Miller coming back and having a confirmed starting role, I think, is only going to help this team. The run game isn't losing anybody. They're going to be good. They are the team to beat. So I'd have to be crazy not to take North Dakota
Call me
State.
a second baseman, Joe, because I'm taking the field.
What?
Next question.
Can you provide an explanation?
I would say that there's a lot of good competition. I know North Dakota State decided to play some bully ball last year. They did. They steamrolled some teams. But again, I think it's foolish to not take the field every year because it's one program versus like 180 now. I know it's not 180, but it feels like it with all the new additions. I know there have been some departures also. There's a lot of good teams in the Big Sky. There's a lot of good teams in the Missouri Valley. Somebody from the CAA could start doing a little upsetting. I know that, JMU's gone, but it's fine. I'm taking the field. It could be, we could see some teams.
But see, that's
really going
another
on a
thing
run.
too, is that really good programs like Jacksonville State, James Madison, Sam Houston State are not going to be competing in this year's playoff. So why would I bet on the field? I would love
You
for the
could still
field to win.
have Montana State. You could still have Montana. You could still have South Dakota State. You could have North Dakota. You could have a lot of different teams.
Whatever.
Delaware.
Delaware's okay. They have a new head coach.
I gave you a couple teams there.
All right. Well, there's decent options for
Yeah, I know there are.
competition
Damn right
for
there
North
are.
Dakota State. Seymour Stacks asking a question: why doesn't the SoCon just add Austin P and Campbell and become a 3-bid league? So the current teams that I see that are in this conference, you've got Chattanooga, you got ETSU, Furman, Mercer, Samford, the Citadel, VMI, Western Carolina, and Wofford. I think if you plug in Austin P and Campbell, they would immediately be competing for the top of the conference. And I think that both programs would bolster this conference by adding some legit competition. It's a good question. Like, I don't know why that the SoCon hasn't made more of an effort, because it's a mid-tier conference. It's a decent conference, and they could be better. And they could be a 3-bid conference if they went after teams like that. But they're not as active and aggressive as like a CAA is, who just went and added Hampton and Monmouth because they knew that they were losing James Madison. They had to recoup, and instead of, these like the SoCon, I just don't think is as aggressive as we've seen.
It's not. I don't even know if that would necessarily make them a 3. Chattanooga, ETSU, Citadel. Maybe it would make them a 3-team bid. Maybe. They could stay 2, though. They could stay to a 2-team bid. And that's fine, because the top 2 that always leave the SoCon always end up making a little bit of noise, not only in the SoCon, but in the playoffs. And you understand that these are good teams. 3 teams from the SoCon. I mean, because if who do you say? Austin P and Campbell. If they were going to make the bid in the SoCon, they were going to make it in, I don't know, 8 out of the other 10 conferences. So they're fine. They're fine where they are. If you want more representation from the SoCon, get another team to have a really good season. Mm-hmm. Don't bring in Austin P or Campbell. Right. It's silliness. It's just, yeah.
No, it's a good point. I don't know how much more that's going to really push them into a 3-bid team.
Right.
3-bid league. Rabbit hole. We've got our great question from him this week. Describe the sequence of events you go through immediately following winning the Powerball grand prize. I am buying an island and I'm gone. I'm removing myself from society. That's a guarantee.
First thing I do, and then you got to get yourself some clarity. And that's all I'm going to say about it. You got to do what you need to do to have a clear mind. You do that, and then you move on with your day. You don't tell anybody you did it. Joe, do you know what I'm talking about? To get clarity.
No, what do you mean?
You jerk off right after winning you right after. That's what you do. Because you can't have your mind all, scattered about, I'm a multi-millionaire. I'm gonna go, try and impress this girl, this girl, that girl.
I don't know if they would give me the clarity.
You gotta have some type of, post-nut clarity to get yourself in a right mental state and actually chart down your decisions. Decision, you're not telling anybody. Third decision, see if you can accept a check in a mask, so nobody knows that you won the money.
Wore the scream mask.
Do whatever you can do to get the money without anybody knowing that you won it. Without anybody knowing that you won it. Then if you want to take care of your people, you take care of your people. And if you say, hey, you can't tell anybody that I won. You just can't. Or else all this stuff goes away. Or else it all goes away, you'll never see me again. Then you do Joe's method. If not, you win the lottery. I don't know. I would probably go a little crazy. I would, but I would try to make some smart financial decisions. Joe's buying island plan is pretty good, but what are you going to burn it all on an island? I don't even think you can buy an island for lottery winnings.
I don't think. I mean, how expensive is an island?
I would say probably.
I just need a rock.
$500 million. What do you need a rock?
I just need like a small.
You'll drive
rock
yourself crazy there
in the middle of the ocean.
You need too much attention. That's why we do the job. Why do we do the job? That's not true.
Because I love attention, but I'm also more of an introvert than I am an extrovert.
I would agree with that. So what are you going to do? You're going to play MLB of the Show on your rock alone?
Yeah.
And you're going to ask me to come and join
you? Yeah, then I'm gonna text you like every couple of days, like, hey, when are you coming?
I'm working, which is what you used to do. Yeah, you don't tell anybody. You stash it away. You go blue chip investments. I would say I'm not taking any of it to crypto. I'm going right into like Amazon.
I don't like
all the
how
standard blue chips.
Logical this thought process.
I think about it all the time. That's why I think about it all the time, and I don't play the lottery. I just have to know what I'm going to do in case I fall into a bunch of, in case a bag of money falls on me from the sky and it says, okay, boom, hits me on the head. Here's $2 million in a bag. Okay, here's what I know what I'm doing. Going home, taking care of myself. Then I'm getting my plan started. Not telling anybody. Never tell anybody.
All right, let's get to the next question. Nicholas Aguilera, I think is how you pronounce it. Who is the best tight end in FCS football right now?
Tyler
Kraft. Tyler Brook's like 45 right now. Tucker Kraft from South Dakota State, who he's almost as big as you though still. Tucker Kraft, South Dakota State, who we talked about in depth on this show. And when we do the tight end show, we're going to talk about, he might be the only elite tier guy that we have. Because he is really freaking good. He is Power 5 good. And we know from the fact that he was offered money to go to Power 5 teams.
It's a bit of a broken record, but Joe's spot on here with Tucker Kraft.
Mike Capoletti asks, how about
that name, right?
Shut up. Shut up. What's that supposed to mean?
The Italian name. That's
what happened to your background. Why is your background suddenly black? Do you see that?
Yeah, it's dark in here.
Room.
Yeah, it's dark room.
Get better lighting. How about that strength of schedule
natural light,
for EWU
jackass.
with a new quarterback? Anybody got harder in the BSC nation? 7 wins would be huge and should get a playoff bid. No. I think 7 wins is what you should be aspiring for, if I'm being completely honest. Bouncing back from Eric Berrier and then having to replace your offensive coordinator is not easy.
All right, you want to run?
What?
I got it up if you want to run through it.
Go through
it. Game 1 versus Tennessee State.
Win.
I'll give them a win. because that's at home. Tennessee's got to fly over there. Game 2, Oregon.
Loss.
1-1. Game 3, hosting Montana State.
Loss.
1-2.
1-2.
Game 4, at Florida.
Win. No, just kidding. Loss. 1-3.
1-3.
They play Oregon and Florida?
Yep. 1-3. Game 5, at Weber.
I'll give them a win. Close win. So 2-3.
That can go either way, but I'll just for continuity's sake, 2-3. Game 6 versus Sac State.
Loss. 2-4.
2-4. Fine with me. Week 7 at Cal Poly.
Win. 3-4.
3-4. Hosting Portland State.
Win. 4-4.
4-4. At Idaho.
I'm gonna give Idaho that one. I'm gonna get Coach X gonna have some juice this year. So
4-5.
4-5.
At Montana next week.
4-6.
4-6, and then hosting Northern Colorado to close out the season.
That's a win. So
5-6.
5-6. Yeah, I think there's a couple of those games that could go either way, but there are some like definite losses. Like I look at Montana, Montana State, Oregon, and Florida. You're definitely losing. Maybe if you had Eric Berrier, you could steal one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I get it; they're new head coaches, but those are definite losses, especially for a new head coach. They're going to come out swinging at big programs.
They should get a playoff bid if they beat Montana State, Sac State, and Montana. If they can do that, then they get a playoff bid.
And I wouldn't even necessarily say Portland State is a guaranteed win.
No, neither do I.
Jamie Williams, last questions that we have on the show. Sean, one for you. Have you ever eaten at House of Dynasty? What is that?
I have. It is a Chinese restaurant by Hayfield High School where Miles Ross played and Montez Wilson played, and we played them. It is off Telegraph Road here in Virginia, technically in Alexandria, but closer to the Mount Vernon area. I guess closer to Springfield, the Mount Vernon area, but in my area. But I guess Jamie Williams, familiar with it. I have. That is a big family dinner purchase. You go out, they give you a big pallet of Chinese food, you take it home. It's pretty good. Inside it's a big hall also, like House of Dynasty.
It's a one-person meal for Sean also.
It's not Chef Wong's though, and Chef Wong's is absolutely cash money. Chef Wong's knows you. When they pick up the phone, they know exactly who you are and which part of the they know who you are when you pick up the phone. I like Chef Wong's more. And then Jamie also responded, said that his wife was a Westpo grad, which was Mount Vernon's big rivals. So I'm not going to talk any trash, but it's not any good Chinese food for a Westpo graduate. I'm assuming she probably went to Groveton then, but it's not. This is very niche. This is very Northern Virginia suburban. Yeah.
Hey, let's ask more broad questions next time, Jamie.
I answered them on Twitter because I didn't know if we were going to get to it today. Yeah. So I gave him that.
I figured I'd throw it in. Last question from Jamie. Best player you played with at URI and best player you played against at URI. Best player that we played with, Isaiah Coulter, Kyle Murphy, Aaron Parker, any of those three. I can't even necessarily separate any of them. Maybe I give like a slight edge to Isaiah Coulter because of his athletic profile. But they were all fantastic. Best I played against. I mean, like we played against. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his freaking name.
Pat Ricard.
No.
We did.
Who was the corner? Caleb Farley. We played against Caleb Farley.
Yeah.
Who was a first round pick. We also played against EJ Perry, who was a monster.
Embarrassed the defense a couple times. Who was the Jimmy Moreland was pretty goddamn good at JMU.
You know what? I would say that honestly, EJ Perry. I've never watched somebody do what he did against a Division I defense. He made us look silly. Multiple fourth down conversions. He ran around like a madman on every single
Sean
play.
Murphy Bunting when he was at
we did, but it's like I knew they were there, but EJ Perry is the only guy that I can think of off the top of my head where I was like, oh my God, F this guy. What? Like I was unbelievably frustrated watching him on the sideline, seeing what he was doing to our defense. EJ Perry,
the Delaware, Nazir Adderley. He was somebody that dominated.
Yes.
He dominated our scout teams. He was the dude that you're like, okay, we're getting. If someone else scores or someone else is going to make a play on defense, then it happens. But if it's kickoff returns, if he's doing what he's doing, he was a guy that was definitely a problem. Dude, there were a couple more. Villanova have a guy. Villanova had the defensive end from Villanova. Dino locked up. Yeah. He was a freak of nature.
Massive dudes, huge, easily one of the biggest football players I've ever seen in person was him.
Yeah.
But so the Caleb Farley though, he was the reason why Zay got put on the map as a draft prospect, was because he matched up with AP and Zay, and everybody wanted to watch and see what AP could do against Caleb Farley. And everyone saw what Zay was doing in that game. And
AP did fine against Caleb Farley also.
He had a really good game. He had a really, really good game. And that was why he became a 5th-round draft pick, was because of that game.
Yeah, all good. I'd say Murph, because Murph could play center, guard, and tackle, all ahead of first team on conference level. And I saw him squat 700 pounds on his back as a freshman in college, and I'll never forget that. And I realized, wow, this guy is going to be different. And if he's here for another year, I'll be surprised. That was my thought process. But I mean, Dino was really good. Went to Cincinnati, went to the CFL for a little bit. Steiny still with Washington right now. David Steinmetz, who transferred from URI to Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good guys that we played with.
All right, well, I think that's going to wrap us up on.
I would say
at
so.
Joe DeLeone, at Sanderson Radio, Hack City. Sean?